In response to the faith-based, we are prohibited by statute from directly ordering a parent to a specific service or a juvenile to a specific service. Judges are prohibited from selecting the service provider. And so that is in place. I will say that we all take responsibility. So the faith-based community has to reach out, and they have in some areas. DCFS has to reach out to faith-based, but I will say the judges, we have just as much responsibility as community leaders to go in our community and let the faith-based churches and organizations know what our needs are. And what I have found that when we do that, they respond. And so I take that sort of on us as well, as we have just as much duty as they do to come to us, as we have a duty to go to them and say, we have these real needs. And I mean, I've seen just amazing responses when that happens. And what we can do, we can't order specific, but we can get everybody connected with the right people so that when the next case comes, DCFS knows that church is ready and willing to help and perhaps avoid removing a child. But that's part of our duty too.
We're fixing to go to Senator Colin Smith, and then we have Senator Colin Smith right after you. Representative Fight will be waiting. Judge Warren, I just something you said. Communication is 90%, I think, of all problems, or lack of communication. And you mentioned you mentioned a scenario where someone needed services. You knew what they, or thought you knew what they needed, but they weren't available for 5 months. Obviously, probably a resource problem. Could be a management problem, but probably a resource problem. And Judge Brown, I know probably your 2 years in the legislature was 2 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Was probably enough for you to understand legislators rolling our eyes every time we're told that the problem is money.
Yes, I understand.
But you don't roll your eyes as much when somebody tells you something specific like that. And I wonder if we can do more to create a conduit where you see those specific problems that the judiciary as a group can say, hey, getting the word back to us because we meet all the time. We're not getting these specific services. And it may end up being everything, but at least, it's not just money. It's, we need to do this and we can't get this done. We've got people waiting for months, and obviously this is affecting these children, it's affecting these families. And we want to do the right thing. DCFS wants to do the right thing, we can. And so sometimes, if we can find a way, and I don't know what that would be, that y'all can get those specific needs, sometimes as they're occurring, not that we could fix them as they're occurring, but as you see that repeatedly this is happening, because you see it, you're in that job, so you see this is happening with this particular agency or this particular need or this particular service over and over and over. And if we do that, we might be much more likely to fix that thing than we are to say, here's a bag of money. Just a thought, but appreciate you bringing that out. That was a very good point. Senator Colin Smith.